Welcome to the Character Awards, the possibly annual show where we give some well-deserved attention to some of your favorite characters. Today we will be giving out awards for these three categories: Character Development, Aesthetic, and last but not least, Best Character. We will go through a variety of characters too, not you. You got a whole video dedicated to you, so shoo. Now, without further ado, let's get to some of our nominees.
Hello. Don't mind me, just cracking all my knuckles.
All right, we're live. I like it.
I'm all right. A little scared what your question is, but hey, I feel like it's a trap. That's what I feel here.
Are you already rolling? All right, give me a second. Let Lily lick Lionel's lusty leathers. Let Lily lick Lionel's lusty leathers. Mm. Okay, I'm ready.
So, who is your favorite fictional character?
Oh, there's so many characters. Give me an hour.
Favorite fictional character? I don't know.
That's a difficult question.
That is a really tough question that catches me off guard. I thought it was going to be something completely different.
Is Michael fictional? Because he's my favorite one so far.
Honest to goodness, if I were to answer something right on the spot, I would say Springtrap because he ended up on my leg as a tattoo.
Oh, what?
He ended up on my leg as a permanent tattoo, so I guess you could say Springtrap's my all-time favorite character of anything.
Oh, that's a good one. Probably Lucifer.
This is not a good question. This is I can't think of any. I can't think of any fictional characters.
I was gonna say Michael, but okay, I think I know my answer. Perry the Platypus. Has a theme song, wears a cool hat, so he has style. He is a nemesis, which you have to be important to have a nemesis.
No. My favorite fictional character, I'm going to go Ebenezer Scrooge.
You know, I've always had a real connection with Link from the Legend of Zelda series. I kind of like the way that, he's really courageous and goes after what he wants. Plus, Zelda herself's pretty hot. And we all know that, he's getting that in the end.
Great role model. I always wanted to grow up and be Perry the Platypus. Not a secret agent, be a platypus wearing a fedora.
I'm gonna go with Rust from True Detective.
For now, all I can really think of is George Michael from Arrested Development.
Oh, that's all you needed. Awesome.
Now with our nominees ready, let's get to the awards. And the award for Best Character Development goes to Ebenezer Scrooge. Spoiler alert for A Christmas Carol. If you haven't read, seen, or heard this story, you're dead. Proceed at your own risk. Ebenezer Scrooge is a Christmas icon, and I think it's pretty obvious why he would win an award for character development. He starts out as a greedy, grouchy old man putting business above all else, be it hungry orphans or his own family. But then, changed by the spirits of Christmas, he becomes a selfless, jolly fella. His story is character development. Personally, I watched the good old 1951 Christmas Carol film to review this character. I thought the movie itself was pretty good. It went into a lot of details I was new to because I grew up watching the animated, made-for-kids movies that didn't go into as much dark detail as the 1950s film did. I was introduced to new story beats such as Scrooge's love life, being bought out by a big company, and getting a divorce. The scene that got me the most was Scrooge discovering that he never heard his dead sister's last wish for him to take care of her orphan child. No idea what happened to that kid, they never went into it. Scrooge is a great character. Now, does he lose points for all the poor representations of him?
Humbug!
Yes he does. But other than his lacking portrayals, his story progression feels real. Your opinion of this character most likely depends on how you saw him as a kid. For me, Scrooge was more of an idea, but watching this specific film turned him into an actual character. And that's why I hereby award him with the Best Character Development Award. And the award for Best Aesthetic goes to Springtrap. Spoiler alert for Five Nights at Freddy's 3 and the lore I don't really talk about. Now this is interesting. Disclaimer. I have very little experience with the horror genre as a whole, and even less experience with the FNAF franchise. I also get scared very easily. Before Five Nights at Freddy's 3, the scariest game I ever played was Naughty Bear. All of this to say that I have an extreme bias against scary things, and this is me trying my best to honestly review this character. I find it completely fitting that a character from a horror game wins this award. The horror genre has a huge aesthetic. In my opinion, Springtrap nails the creepy vibe. He has very unnerving activities like standing in dark hallways, staring at you through cameras, he even stalks you a bit and holds aggressively long eye contact. And even though Springtrap isn't one of my favorite characters in this video, he still has the strongest look and presence out of all of them. There are a lot of jump scares in this game that I will not be showing for some of our more squeamish audience members. Now, all that being said, Springtrap's character design has one major flaw, and that is clarity. Take a look at this pic. That's good character design. It's got detail, grit, personality, and the color scheme is interesting. A slightly desaturated yellowish green. That's pretty good. But you know what else is a desaturated green? Everything else in the game. It's not a huge deal, but I just really think that if they had switched up the color a little, it would be better. Heck, I would have been happier if it was purple. Don't at me. He also has a tendency to not be visible through the static on the cameras, but I think that's a product of game design as opposed to the character himself, so I don't blame him for that. All in all, his aesthetic is one of the best out of our nominees, so I hereby give him the award for Best Aesthetic. Now take your award and get out. Next, we're going into the Best Character Award, but first, our honorable mentions. Almost everyone here could have won an award had I switched up the categories. Character development and aesthetics were chosen mostly because those are, well, kind of my jam. Lucifer is one of my favorite nominees out of all of them, but his story development is somewhat lacking and his aesthetic is mostly being British or Australian. In all fairness though, I only got through the first 2 seasons of Lucifer, and I've been told the series got much better after that, so this might have been a bit of an unfair fight for Lucifer. George Michael would have absolutely won an award for comedy if I had chosen to have such a category, but Perry the Platypus could have given George a run for his money. Link from The Legend of Zelda could have won an award for cultural impact? Okay, I'm gonna be honest, Link never had a shot at winning any award I would have made. And now, without further ado, the winner of the Best Character Award is Rustin Cole! Spoiler alert for True Detective Season 1, spoilers ahead. Now, I love this character. Rust could have easily won any of the 3 awards here. His character development is the best I've ever seen, and his aesthetic is something to behold.
I think human consciousness was a tragic misstep in evolution. I think the honorable thing for our species to do is deny our programming. Stop reproducing. Walk hand in hand into extinction. One last midnight, brothers and sisters opting out of a raw deal.
Oh, that sounds God fucking awful, Rust.
His actions, thoughts, and words have such an extreme nature to them that it's hard not to connect to him, even though he's possibly one of the most abrasive characters I've ever seen portrayed on television. One of the best qualities that I love about Rust is that he is 100% grade A, not putting up with your hijinks or tomfoolery material. No matter who he's talking to, no matter how rude it is, Rust just says what he thinks, which is a huge plus in my book. He doesn't seem to do anything he doesn't want to do. He threatens to leave during police questionings, does an unofficial undercover mission that eventually turns into a neighborhood shootout, and even does the most disgraceful act of mowing a man's lawn.
What the hell do you think you're doing, man?
Returning the mower.
You mow my lawn?
What's our problem?
I just don't ever want you mowing my lawn, all right? I like mowing my lawn.
It is with great honor that I award Rustin Cole the Best Character Award. Thank you all, and see you next year.